Did you become homeless or something?
At the high school reunion, a classmate sneered at me, who had grown up poor in a single-parent family. Homeless, that seems like an exaggeration. Even after more than 20 years since graduation, he still says such things. I glare at him in anger, but he doesn't care. His father became a bank president, and he's an executive himself. He boasts that he's going to be the next bank president.
Listen, things have changed since our school days. I ain't someone you can just shoot the breeze with anymore. I ain't looking to be associated with sketchy, broke folks like you for life.
Seeing him laughing loudly, I lost my patience. I don't want to deal with you either. You've ruined the reunion. Oh, is that so? Then I'll cancel my account, I said dismissively, and take out my phone to contact my wife. My classmate keeps laughing at my words, but that will only last for now. You probably don't know the tremendous effort it took for me to get here. I'll make him realize my hardships are no joke. My name is Jason Davis. My parents divorced when I was young, so I only remember living with my mom. Being a single-parent family, we must have been financially strained. My mom worked multiple jobs, sparing no time for sleep, a sight that is still etched in my mind. Yet, she always managed to smile and treat me kindly, despite being exhausted from work. As I grew up, I focused more on my studies, thinking I wanted to get a good job and provide a more comfortable life for my mom. Thanks to that effort, I enrolled in the advanced placement courses at a prestigious private high school. The school was filled with academically excellent students, and I think most of them were financially well off. However, I was admitted as a scholarship student due to my high scores on the entrance exam, and my tuition was waived.
You're a scholarship student, huh? Figures. That's why you seem so poor. This school isn't meant for poor people like you.
What? Oh. Me, seem poor? His words left me speechless, shocked at such harassment. I wonder where he found out I was a scholarship student to harass me like this. Indeed, I was admitted to this school because I was selected as a scholarship student, and my tuition fees were waived.
Oops, there you are. Gotta be careful around you. Don't want your poverty rubbing off on me.
He approached me on purpose only to say such cruel things. At first, I was shocked and hurt, but gradually I learned to ignore it, probably because I made some genuine friends.
Jason, being a scholarship student is impressive, man. Those guys are just jealous because they can't compete. Don't mind them.
It's jealousy, huh?
Yeah, jealousy. Even I get envious of your good grades sometimes.
Really?
Well, I forgive you because your handwriting sucks, you know.
What's that supposed to mean? Stop it, man. He would say things like that in jest to encourage me. Thanks to this, I realized I had no time for such petty harassment and could focus solely on my studies. It goes without saying that I studied tirelessly throughout my 3 years of high school. The school, with its high tuition fees, provided the best environment for studying, offering challenging courses and surrounded by other talented students, which was a great motivator. Over 20 years have passed since then, and during that time, I've married and had children. My mother is also doing well. Then one day, an invitation to a high school reunion arrived. I had completely forgotten about my high school days, but looking at the invitation, I felt a wave of nostalgia. I hesitated at first, but I decided to go because I wanted to see how my friends, whom I hadn't met in a long time, were doing. On the day of the reunion, I was quite nervous as I headed to the venue.
Long time no see.
What have you been up to since then?
The spacious venue was filled with many classmates, and such conversations could be heard everywhere. I too found familiar faces and reminisced about old times. Before I knew it, my nervousness had disappeared, as if it was never there. Let's toast to this long-awaited reunion.
Yay, cheers.
I think I was somewhat giddy about reuniting with my classmates. It felt like I had gone back to my student days. Then, as I finished my beer and was about to get another, someone called out from behind.
Hey, you.
A man placed his hand on my shoulder and spoke. Who could it be? I turned around nonchalantly.
I knew it. You're Jason, the poor guy, right?
As soon as that classmate saw my face, he teased and sneered with a grin. Oh, you. As soon as I saw that smirking face, the good mood I had was blown away. Even after more than 20 years, his unpleasant, reminiscent smile was instantly recognizable. This guy, Neil Harris in high school, always ridiculed and despised me for being poor.
We're in different leagues. This school isn't for poor people like you.
He would always say, looking down on me with a snort. That voice still sticks in my ears. Neil prided himself on his father being an executive at a major bank, often saying he would be the future bank president. After graduating high school, it was rumored among our classmates that Neil got into a prestigious private university through his parents' connections. When I saw the reunion invitation, I felt nostalgic and wanted to go, but then I hesitated because of Neil. I wanted to reunite with old friends, but the thought of meeting this man, who looked down on me for being poor in high school, was daunting.
You actually showed up at the reunion, huh? I thought I was finally free of poor people like you after graduation. To think I'm meeting you again, unbelievable.
Even after more than 20 years since graduation, he still taunts me. People are supposed to grow up. I felt a mix of surprise and disbelief at Neil, speechless. But Neil didn't care about that at all, and he continued to add insult to injury.
What are you doing now? Became homeless or something, huh?
Homeless. That's surely an overstatement. Why do I have to hear this from him? I tried not to engage, but couldn't help frowning.
Hey, what's with that face, man?
Seeing me, Neil laughed as if it was funny. Does he not realize I am displeased, or is it the lowest of humanity to enjoy seeing someone upset? Not noticing is a problem in itself. I realized through Neil that aging and growing up are different things. Neil, you really haven't changed.
I've changed. My dad became the bank president, and I'm an executive now, set to be the next president. But that's beyond your imagination.
He said boastfully, narrowing his eyes at me. That contemptuous look, filled with malice, was something I saw for the first time.
So, unlike in our school days, I'm not someone you can just casually talk to now. I don't want to associate with shady poor people like you, let alone see your face.
He initiated the conversation, yet I didn't want to see his face either. Just as I was about to respond, Neil loudly commanded,
This is not a place for you. Got it? Get out of here now.
What's with the arrogance? Memories of being ridiculed and looked down upon in high school, and the sight of my mother working hard, flashed through my mind, fueling my anger beyond control. Oh, I see. You don't want anything to do with me, right? The feeling is mutual.
Oh, first time we ever been on the same page. You bottom feeder.
Then, as a start, I'll cancel all my accounts at your bank. To Neil, who laughed mockingly, I coldly announced.
What are you talking about? Your account must be like, what, $10? That won't hurt us a bit. Do whatever you want.
Neil looked at me with the same unpleasant smirk he had in high school. Really? Are you sure?
Don't act all high and mighty just because you're poor. Just go ahead and cancel it.
Neil seemed irritated by my repeated words and threw back a dismissive remark. Humph, don't come regretting later.
You think you can make me regret? As if there's anything about you worth that, see ya.
With that, Neil walked away. Indeed, he probably never thought of me beyond someone to mock and scorn. Once Neil was gone, I immediately took out my phone and called my wife. Hey, it's me, Yale. Cancel the account at that bank and transfer it to the other one. Yes, all of it, thanks. This would surely make Neil lose his arrogance. Serves him right. I was going to make him truly regret his words. Feeling like I had accomplished something, I grabbed a new glass and headed back to where my old friends were. The next morning, I noticed multiple missed calls from the same number on my phone. It was an unfamiliar number, but I had a hunch and answered after several attempts.
Hello, it's me, Neil. I was wrong yesterday.
Neil's voice sounded almost tearful over the phone. What's up with you all of a sudden? Feigning ignorance in my response, Neil's voice grew desperate as he pleaded.
Please revert the account. I beg you.
You told me to do as I please, right? That's why I canceled it. I just took you at your word.
I didn't know you were such a major client. I had no idea you were the representative of such a big hospital.
Even if you say so, you were the one who unilaterally decided I was a homeless, poor person.
If it gets out that a major account was canceled because of me, both my father and I will be in trouble. I'll do anything. Please reverse the cancellation.
Well, too bad, but I've already transferred the account to another bank, just as you wished. You and I have nothing to do with each other now. How about that? Feels good, right? Seeing Neil flustered and continuing to plead amused me. Did he really think I would just easily revert the cancellation of an account? That's incredibly naive. To note, the amount I had in Neil's bank included both my personal and the hospital accounts I represent, totaling about $50 million, and I had loans with them too, all of which I had already transferred to a rival bank of Neil's. After high school, I was recommended for medical school, received a scholarship, and became a doctor. After graduating, I worked in pediatric medicine and gained recognition through various research achievements. During that time, I met my current wife, who was working as a doctor in the same pediatric ward, and we got married. I became the young representative of the hospital, filling in for my Phil, the director, who was ill.
Hey, please don't cancel it.
Neil was still pleading over the phone. Neil, do you even understand why I canceled the account?
Yeah, I was wrong. Sorry for mocking you for being poor. It was just a joke. Why get so mad?
Huh, what's that supposed to mean? Facing Neil's unapologetic and absurd remarks, my anger turned to disbelief, and I couldn't help but sigh. What does he mean by a joke? He's really messing around. To belittle and mock me for being poor, and then claim it was all just a joke. After more than 20 years since high school, you still don't get it. I will never do business with a bank that has people like you. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute.
I could hear Neil's voice from the phone, but I ended the call. I became a doctor thanks to scholarships and immense effort, something I earned through incredible hard work. It felt as though even that was being dismissed as a joke. I was confident my decision was right. Later, when I met with my current bank's representative, Neil's name came up.
Regarding Neil, it became known within the bank how he treated you, causing significant damage to the bank. As a result, he was demoted from executive position and transferred to a subsidiary as a regular employee.
It was clear that Neil would never become a president.
The other bank is also not doing well financially, according to internal reports. It was good that you switched to our bank early.
The representative shared that with me. Neil probably never had to struggle financially in his life. That's why I think he could mock me as poor and then casually claim it was all just a joke. Despite working in a bank, he never understood the value of money. It's unfortunate that he never realized such things before. Hello. On a whim, I made a call. Mom, yo, I'm good. Can the kids and I come over this Sunday? Great, see you then. I arranged to take the kids to visit my mother's house on my next day off. She now lives in a slightly larger apartment than the one we used to live in, as she prefers not too large spaces. I thought about asking my wife if she could get time off. Images of my wife, kids, and my hard-working mother came to mind. Now that I have more money than most, I plan to live a disciplined life, taking Neil as a cautionary example.